data trust and safety teams. How would you feel if you go to the safety team and the trust team and you can no longer trust them to keep your data safe?
Okay, so this is going to be a very, very interesting, difficult conversation to have, and it's one that I feel super strongly about. So just as a heads up, we're going to be going into the surface level of some potentially rage-inducing topics. What that topic is, well, Discord and generally other companies as well, moving towards having to use facial scans and things and government IDs and real ID just to use an application to the fullest. Stay tuned. So, off the rip, I can commend and I can genuinely and generally support the idea of moves that will keep children safe or attempt to keep children safe. What I don't like is what, at least to me, what feels to be an excuse to siphon a bunch of data and potentially create a larger database of people's faces without any prior reason to grab that type of information. Okay, so what's going on? Discord has announced they did a press release saying that they will be rolling out their global initiative for age assurance for age verification, which means if you want to use the full extent of Discord, you would have to either submit a government ID or partake into some type of facial scan that is managed by a third vendor, or a third-party vendor, excuse me. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's address that real quick, right? I think for most people, you know, if you don't do it and you get put in this teenage global settings thing, let's take a look, shall we? Let's pull it up. So on the Discord press release, we can see here, Discord launches teen by default settings globally. And what this will essentially do is prevent you from entering like certain 18 plus communities, and certain things will be filtered based on like not safe for work labeling and you know, all of that. So I genuinely think for the average, well, I can't say the average, I don't know if it's the average. I am not going to be bothered by it. All right, our EOZ community is not a not safe for work community. I use it to hang out with friends. I don't think there are any like normal, you know, I don't think it's going to stop you from having a voice chat with someone on your friends list, potentially. I don't know the full extent at the moment, but not that big of a deal in terms of Discord. So we're I said that, right? It's not that big of a deal if your general use is not disturbed. We're gonna put that off to the side because we're gonna talk about the principle of the matter and the idea of locking down app features and capabilities based off of verification of someone's ID. I think age verification makes sense if you're partaking in like explicit adult material. And by adult material, I mean like a wide range, right? So there's, you know, the hub kind of stuff. You know, I still think that's a bit invasive, but I can at least understand, right? I can understand. I believe if you are trying to buy tobacco from a website that does orders, I can kind of understand the idea to need identification and verification for that. If you're trying to buy a firearm, I can understand the need and requirement for age verification and your government making sure you're who you say you are for that. Something like Discord? I'm not really feeling it for this. I'm not. Do you know what keeps children safe with platforms like Discord? Parental intervention. And look, I understand not every parent is able to have the time and the luxury to be able to know all the ins and outs of their children's dealings. And yes, I do understand that like a child can go to a friend's place or like at school and find ways around various different things. That's not the point of the statement. The point of the statement is the best way to keep a child safe is for the parents to be involved in that child's lives and know who they're talking to, what games they're playing, what games are online games, and teaching them, best practices of how to be safe and not basically just go whole hog with a stranger online and meet them up because some rando told you to meet them at a location, let alone like sharing location information to begin with. Teaching kids not to do that is the first and the best way to protect them. Specifically because even with age verification software and scans and stuff, they'll find ways around it. In Australia, should I give away people's sauce? I'm not gonna give away their sauce. I will simply say if you look up how the teenagers in Australia are getting past facial recognitions, one, is goddamn hilarious. Two, it shows that it's not gonna fully work. But again, not working or having ways around it is not an excuse to not try to be protective or helpful. Again, that's not the point. Hey, doing a post insertion here. I was so irritated I forgot to mention one of the other potential issues with a system like this, and that is if you have scans, and we'll talk about that later in the video, but if you have scans and checks that are constantly trying to evaluate a person and what age group they should be in, well, you can have bad actors actively try to game the system to put them in a younger group, therefore clearing them of any other further type of scanning of communications with younger age groups. It's just not a great idea. The crux and what all this boils down to in terms of my irritation with it is the tinfoil hat time, I will say, the guise of using this as an explanation to essentially create databases of people's faces and personal informations and scans and voices. And I get a little too creeped out when the idea of children's faces and voices and video conferencing calls might constantly be recorded and taken to be used for I don't know what. Especially in the day of AI, what we've seen with freaking Twitter and we've seen with, certain. Am I doom-pilled about certain things? Probably. But I don't like that idea. I genuinely don't. And you might say, but Zane, they have it on the site where they don't hold on to data. Bull fucking shit. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let's go down to privacy forward age assurance. And this is where Discord talks about how they will basically use, is it here? Yeah. Discord users can choose to use facial age estimation or submit a form of identification to its vendor partners, with more options coming in the future. Additionally, Discord will implement Age Interface Model, a new system that runs in the background to help determine whether an account belongs to an adult without always requiring users to verify their age. Okay, we'll come back to that. Video selfies for facial age estimation never leave a user's device. Bullshit. If you are doing processing, that information goes somewhere. Even if it's not the actual image, the data goes somewhere. It can easily be recreated. Quick deletion. Identity documents submitted to our vendor partners are deleted quickly. In most cases, immediately after age confirmation. Straightforward verification. In most cases, users complete the process once and their Discord experience adapts to their verified age group. Users may be asked to use multiple methods only when more information is needed to assign an age group. Private status. A user's age verification status cannot be seen by others. Or by other users, excuse me. Okay, going back to quick deletion, okay? Identity documents submitted to our vendor partners are deleted quickly. How do you know that? If it's not, okay, so like let's put aside that even if it was Discord doing it directly, how would you know? If it's a process in which information gets sent to a person to review, what stops them from like taking a picture with their phone or literally like saving it to a drive and taking it home? And now when you add the concept of it being a third-party vendor, how is Discord going to verify that? It's not their system. It's not their system. So the third-party vendor can say, they're not holding onto it, they're deleting it. They can also be deleting it by handling it off to some other company to put into a database. Also, the wording, right? Our vendor partners are deleted quickly. Define quickly, because quickly to me might be a different quickly to a company. And then it says right here, right? In most cases, immediately after age confirmation. So in what cases doesn't it get deleted after age confirmation? And also, how long does it normally take to do and get age confirmation? Straightforward verification, all right? Okay, so they say this happens only once, but also above here, right? A new system that runs in the background to help determine whether an account belongs to an adult without always requiring users to verify their age, excuse me. So you can verify, send in the information, go through a process, and you might still have a background information that is still checking to see if that information was valid. So it's constantly checking to see, are you really that age group? Are you really an adult? Are you really? So even if it happens once, they've already mentioned like a process that it can actually take multiple things. So it's not really once. And I hate to be the bearer of even more bad news. And here's the cruxes as to what really irritates me about the whole idea of, oh, it's safer because it's in somebody else's hands via this third-party vendor. In October of 2025, Discord had a third-party vendor have a data breach, and the Discord customers and users had a bunch of information leaked out to the internet. There's even a press release by Discord for it. Discord, update on security incident involving third-party customer service. TLDR, Discord recently discovered an incident where an unauthorized party compromised one of our third-party vendors. Oh, you mean to tell me a third-party vendor, a third-party customer, a third-party party can be compromised by somebody else with their own data? Shucks. It's almost like this happens all the time. It's almost like the best way to keep information safe is not to care about collecting certain sensitive information to begin with. Gee whiz. I'm so fucking done, man. I'm so fucking done. This was not a breach of Discord, but rather a breach of a third-party service provider, 5CA, that we used to support our customer service efforts. This incident impacted a limited number of users who had communicated with our customer support or trust and safety teams. It's the trust and safety teams. How would you feel if you go to the safety team and the trust team and you can no longer trust them to keep your data safe? Of the accounts impacted globally, we have identified approximately 70,000 users that may have had government ID photos exposed, which our vendor used to review age-related appeals. Huh. You mean to tell me having the age verification systems take in photographs over 70,000 people across the fucking globe, having their information leaked, if it happens once, it's definitely not gonna happen again? No messages or activities were accessed beyond what users may have discussed with customer support or trust and safety agents. We immediately revoked the customer support provider's access to our ticketing system and continued to investigate this matter. We're working closely with law enforcement to investigate this matter. We are in the process of emailing the users impacted. Okay, now look and listen. When it comes to data breaches and leaks and, a bad actor deliberately trying to steal information, I am usually the first one to point out and say that there is no such thing as a 100% safe mechanism, okay? If it's connected to the internet, it is possible that someone can find a way in to get it. So I'm not trying to be an asshole and talk about how, Discord did a bad job in keeping people's data safe. What I'm trying to express is willingly requiring more sensitive information is inherently dangerous. The best way to keep people's information safe is to not hold on to it, to not need it. The best way to keep children safe is the people who are responsible for them in their closest, most prime requirements. The parents are the ones to have to do that job. And again, I am sorry. I know not everyone has the same situations, and not every home and not every environment is perfect or prestigious or pristine. At the end of the day, it's the parent's job to keep the child safe, be it watching them, be it teaching them, be it training them of how not to put themselves in danger, to not do things that will harm them in some kind of way. But the moment you have a platform that is asking you to submit your government ID and scan your fucking faces, just remember that just last year, not even a full year ago, in October 2025, 70,000 individuals had their government ID and their facial information, specifically for age verification, swiped and taken illegally. I am livid over these types of mind games and these. I'll see you all in the next video. Try to be safe. And to Discord, again, I know you are being pushed to do certain things, and it's a tricky game you gotta play, but this ain't it. This is not it. This is not how you do this. And I gotta tell you, there's a reason why people use Discord today. Because in the past, people have used platforms like Uvo, TeamSpeak, Skype, Teams, if you're stupid. Now, let me not say that. Teams is jank though, but let me not say that. Slack and a bunch of other services. If you're gonna ask me what I would suggest for the entire online community start doing once more, self-hosting your own chat systems. That way, if you are caught doing something nefarious, you really can't defend yourselves because it's something that you're hosting and you're actively inviting certain types and kinds of people to it. Okay. Again, I'll see you all in the next one. I am sorry that this one kind of got me livid. Until the next time, take care, be safe, be easy, and be smart.
Live it up, live it up, live it up, live it up.